Was there ever a point in history where white privilege did exist?
No.
Yeah, I suppose when we lived in a country where if you were black, you were not allowed to go into certain places, right? I suppose you could say again, and I guess that wouldn't be white privilege. You would call that Nordic privilege in the progressive era when there were signs that said Irish need not apply. So that's a different, that is white on white, a lack of a privilege. Of course, there's examples in the history of the world where you would have been privileged if your skin was white, especially in this country and in other countries as well. But today, no, white privilege does not exist.
When did it end?
Over time, beginning with the civil rights era, it's not a particular incident or moment, but multi-generations, the country became significantly less racist. I would say after Reconstruction, after the Civil War, after, when we had desegregation, fought the Democrat institutional racism, we fought back against the KKK, when the Civil Rights Act was signed, when blacks were allowed to participate in Major League Baseball, the National Football League, the National Basketball Association, serve an elected office, all those things, contributed to the end of what used to be privilege in society, white privilege.
You said less racist. Is it still somewhat racist?
No. Do you just have questions? I think.
No, you said you wanted a dialogue. We're having a
okay.
conversation.
No.
It's the least racist country in the world.
No, America is not a racist country today.
Is it still racist? So
No.
when did it end?
There's certain.
You can't answer the question.
It ended when it ended.
I just did.
Okay,
No, you didn't. You said less
I will
racist.
answer.
I'm
I'll
asking
answer. I'm
when did it
answering
end?
you.
Thank you.
When it stopped being systemic, when there stopped being laws in place that stopped
That's
me
a
as
great
a black person doing what you're able to do as a white man.
No, I'm not asking that. Systemic racism is not simply that issue.
Yes, you just asked
about
me to
the
define when it stopped being, when this
What about
country
what?
stopped being racist. That's the answer.
When?
That I can't give you the exact date and time and hour. I'm telling you
Give
when.
me the decade.
What do you mean?
Mid-1970s.
Yeah,
Mid-1970s.
yeah.
So mass incarceration affecting black and brown communities disproportionately
Because
to their population.
they committed more crimes.
They
Yeah,
committed
well,
more,
yeah.
As to why? Why did they commit more crimes?
Because
they
we
were
ripped
black,
apart
or
the
was it
family.
Because
It's
of their
not-
economic situation. I'm not fucking talking to you, dude.
Why are liberals so angry? I can't figure out why you're
I'm not a
angry. Why are you
liberal.
angry
I'm not a liberal,
right
so
now?
stop assuming my political
Okay, well,
affiliation.
you
Definitely
just
not a
came out of
conservative.
nowhere and just start cursing.
No, you invited me up here, raised my hand,
I know,
and
but
you said,
I'm saying
"Please
you
come
just
up
turned
here."
around and
No,
you're
stop
cursing
trying
at
to change
someone.
the-
Why don't you calm down? It's just a conversation.
I'm perfectly calm. I can
Nobody,
curse
you
while
don't have
being
to turn
calm.
around and curse anyone behind you.
I can.
You're
It's
okay?
a free country, right?
Okay. No, but I'm saying that it's not necessary to have this dialogue for you to
Necessary.
turn around and be angry. I do always remark, and I am going to suspect that you are liberal because right now you're trying to sell me
I'm
my
not
own.
liberal.
You're
I
selling me
just
my own
said it.
oppression, so that's a very liberal
I'm not
stance.
liberal.
Usually, when a white man stands up and tells me that yes, this is a racist country and is oppressed, they do tend to be liberal. Only liberals try to sell me my oppression.
I'm not.
But okay, I'm not going to assume your
Thanks.
political ideology. So here's
I do.
I mean, to answer your question for me, when the system stops being racist and there's nothing stopping us, and you brought up the prison rates, and you said something that was actually really important. You said it's because their communities have been economically depressed. So that would not be because of the color of your skin. That's economic privilege. If you ask me whether or not I believe in economic privilege, I would tell you yes. If you ask me whether or not I think that somebody born into a family of billionaires will be afforded more privileges in life than somebody that is born in the projects of Chicago, I would say yes, because economic privilege in this country does exist. But there is no law in place that is stopping a person because of the color of their skin from gaining that economic privilege, which is why I do not believe that white privilege, which is based upon the color of your skin, exists.
Is black poverty and white poverty different? Do
No.
they face different?
No, poor is poor.
That's a lie. White people are more likely to be in rural poverty, which is different than urban poverty.
That's because black people don't live in rural parts of America.
What?
That's because black people don't live in rural parts of America.
Why? Historically, why? Why did black people flock?
Because of Lyndon
to
Baines
urban-
Johnson, urban planning, central planning, great society, where he said, we are going to verticalize the black community, destroy the black father, introduce drugs in the late 1960s, subsidize single motherhood, which used to be 22% in the 1960s, which is now 73%. Only a government program could make something like that happen.
Did it have anything to do with the lynchings in the South and the hostility towards black people in the South?
Well, first off, you say
Is there any
you're
reason why they
sitting-
left the South
just
for that
so
reason?
just so everybody
Is that-
knows, literally not half, but 1/3 of the people that were lynched in the South were white Republicans. So Republicans were being lynched in the South as well. So let's not pretend that
Okay, that's
if
fine,
your
but that's
argument,
not-
if you're
that's not
asking
addressing
me,
my
it
point.
seems like
That's a whatabout
it seems
argument.
like
You just addressed something else.
no. I just responded.
Does
You
it
said
have
it was a
anything
dialogue.
to do black people leaving the South and going to inner cities and other
He just
parts of
answered
the
that
country
question for you.
have anything to, no, I said, does it have anything to do with the KKK,
Very little to nothing.
lynchings,
Yes.
and violence in the South that black people face?
So what it has to do with is the fact that black people continue.
Answer my question.
No,
Very little to
Does
nothing.
it? Yes or no?
Very
You're
little.
not allowing
Answer.
me to, okay, listen, you're not going to be like, you're not my boss.
You
So
guys
don't
do the
tell me,
same shit.
don't
You
tell me
guys
how
talk
I
over
have to
people all the
answer
time.
your
I was just
question,
over there with
okay?
you shutting people down.
Nobody's intimidated from you telling me how I'm going to
not
answer
trying
your
to
question.
intimidate you. I'm
You're not
trying to
going
have an
you're
honest
not going to cut me off,
conversation.
okay?
No, I'm trying to have an honest
why don't you
conversation
stop,
with you.
why
You
don't you
guys do
stop
not want to.
exercising your invisible white privilege and let the black girl talk for a second, okay?
That's nice. No, this has nothing to do with
Okay,
that.
so to answer your question,
So white privilege
everything
exists.
that you're
Wait,
talking
wait,
about-
wait, wait,
no,
wait.
I said invisible white privilege.
Does it exist
I
then?
said invisible white privilege. If you listen,
Of course it's
okay?
invisible.
So
White
first
privilege is
things
not a
first,
tangible
white
thing.
privilege does not exist. Economic privilege does exist. Okay? If you're asking me, do I think the black community has been crippled economically? The answer would be yes. It has been crippled economically by Democrat policies. You just heard
Who
me
cares
say that
who
in
does
there.
it?
I
Democrats
care,
are
because that
Americans.
tells you-
Democrats are in America,
because
so
that
therefore
tells
you just
that
admitted
tells you-
that there has been disadvantages
it is
by
not
two
race.
black
It
people
is
by
not- it is-
Democrats who
It
are
is not
American.
based
You
off
just
of
admitted
the.
it.
It is not based off. You asked
No.
me if white privilege exists. The answer is white privilege. Because you're born white, that means you're going to not
You
have
just-
this or that. It does not exist. No, it does
You
not
just
exist.
admitted that the Democrats, the boogeyman Democrats,
They're not boogeymen. They
disadvantaged
exist.
the black
Boogeyman
people.
doesn't exist.
No,
60 years
Democrats
ago.
do exist.
they did it.
So
60
boogeyman means doesn't
They did
exist.
it.
Just so you know, there
We're
are
talking about
Democrats.
So
today.
you admit that it exists.
60.
I don't think you're comprehending. You're not.
So,
You're not
let-
I'm
comprehending.
not sure that you are. You said
60 years ago, white people had it better than black people. Over time, there's no more systemic laws that are in place. Let me
disproportionately
ask you a
affect
question.
black people, do they?
Let me ask you a question. What can a white person
Do
do
we
that a black person
disproportionately-
cannot do today in today's America? Name one thing.
well, black people have
Answer
a hard-
the question. Isn't that
I'm
how
about to
this
answer
works?
the fucking question. Black people who smoke marijuana, black and white people smoke marijuana at the same rates. Yet a black person is 3 to 4 times more likely
I can
to be
answer
put
that.
in jail for that.
Okay,
And I
because-
know the reason why, because yeah, the police are in the urban
No,
communities. It's easier to police those
no,
communities. Sure.
because
But that-
actually, I had a girlfriend, I had a family member who got a DUI, and I had a
You are
girlfriend who got a
disgraced,
DUI.
just to let you know, by just saying what you're saying and standing up here and knowing what's going on through the police brutality, through injustice,
I
all
love
this stuff.
This is so,
You're a
guys,
joke.
I
You're a
love that
joke.
behind me. There's like black people rolling their eyes, but the two white guys are yelling at me, telling me that I don't agree with them. This is what I love about white liberals, right? Like they know
I'm not a
it's so
liberal.
important
You're a
for
Marxist.
them to sell us
No, I'm
our
not.
oppression that they'll come up and tell us we're a disgrace. Just
Do
say,
you speak
just
for all
say
black
it, just
people?
say it, just say
Can
it.
you speak for
well,
all
why
black
don't you
people?
stop speaking for black people? That would be
not?
great, okay?